This is Rachel Manella sitting with Master Carol Burris on July 14th at the Black Bear Inn in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And we're going to discuss her accomplishments in Isshinryu karate and her work as a martial arts instructor. And later we will be joined by her husband, Master J.C. Burris, to discuss that as well. Could you please state and spell your name for me?
Yes, I'm Carol Burris, C-A-R-O-L-B-U-R-R-I-S.
Thank you. Where are you from?
Originally from Tennessee, born and raised in McMinn County. My husband and I, when he retired from public education, we moved to Alabama and then on to Georgia. We are now living in Cartersville, Georgia, and have been there almost 20 years.
Do you like it down there?
Love it.
Yeah?
Love it. Yeah.
Well, it's hot.
It's hot.
Well, you can say this and we can ask him and see if his answer lines up.
Okay.
Where and how did you guys meet?
Dear. Okay. let me think about that just a minute. We were working at McMinn High School in Athens, Tennessee, and we met there.
Were you a teacher also?
No, I was a school counselor. That's what I did in my later years. I was school secretary.
Oh, okay. And then what subject did he teach?
Do you want all of them?
A couple.
I think during that time he was, I think he taught British literature or American literature.
You would have been one of my favorite teachers then.
Well, he was a favorite teacher,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
When did you get married? What year?
Married in 1978. August the 5th, 1978.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time.
So you can answer for yourself right now. When did you first get involved with martial arts Isshinryu?
I started in the summer of 1976, in my sensei's basement.
Wow.
And of course my sensei happens to be my husband, J.C. Burris. But I started there, and then I think it was in September of that year, I went to the YMCA to start the class there. I was too embarrassed to do this in front of people.
So you started with Isshinryu then?
Oh yes, that's all I've ever done.
What made you want to take it up?
Ray, I thought it was very important that women really know how to defend themselves. And so that was my primary reason, was for self-defense.
Did you love it right away?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, yes.
What was your favorite part?
How do you say what's the favorite part? Because once you get involved in kata,
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not love that's so vast with everything? How can you not love the kumite? How can you not just really enjoy learning new self-defense techniques and the weapons? I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Have you practiced other forms of martial arts?
I have not.
No. Okay. You're
I'm
pure Isshinryu.
Pure Isshinryu, yes.
So you started with Isshinryu.
Yes.
And you haven't done others. Why stay with Isshinryu? Why not try something else or go somewhere else? What has kept you with Isshinryu all this time?
But you know, Ray, I'm going to put that question back to you as to why not? Why not stay with Isshinryu?
Yeah.
Because once you start training and you really get involved in it, there's more to learn from the last thing you learned.
Right.
And then it just builds.
You can come take a seat right next to her. You can just join right in. We'll backtrack and ask him some of those tough questions.
Yeah. She wants you on this side, I think.
That way I can see you in the video.
Oh, we got a video, okay.
So now we're being joined by Master J.C. Burris. And I've already asked Carol some questions, but we're going to circle back and ask you, see if they match up.
Great.
Let's just see.
Before we start, could you state and spell your name for me? Just a formality.
Initials JC, Burris, B-U-R-R-I-S.
Thank you. And let's see. Are you originally from Tennessee as well?
Yes.
And Carol mentioned that you met at while you were teaching at high school.
Yeah.
How long were you a teacher?
I was a teacher for 14 years,
Wow.
and then I got into administration.
Okay.
I was an administrator for, I was in the superintendent's office, and then I became assistant principal for 5 years, then I became principal for 10 years.
Wow.
Then I was in the county office for 7 years, and then we moved to Georgia, and I became a principal again in Georgia for 14 years,
Wow.
and then I retired with 50 years of education experience.
That's amazing. When did you first get involved with martial arts?
When I was in college, I'd gone up to the University of Tennessee, and I was up there playing baseball, and I became an old sore arm pitcher, and I was out throwing balls against the wall, and I'd always done something, usually with a ball. And my roommate was a green belt at the Harold Long School of Karate.
Okay.
And so he talked me into going down. Went down and watched, and I was impressed. And I didn't tell him he'd gone to see his girlfriend one weekend. So Saturday, I went down, walked downtown to a Saturday morning class, and paid my $12 for the first month.
Wow.
And bought a $3 gi, one of the off-white color, and had my first workout. And then when my roommate was back on Monday, he said, "Well, you going to the dojo with me?" And I said, "I'm going to the dojo with you." And he didn't know I was a member yet. So, anyway.
What year was that? Do you remember?
1965.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And
early.
tell them where the Harold Long School was at that time.
Harold Long School was at the corner of Gay and Fifth Avenue.
Wow.
And that was a pretty good ways away from UT.
Yeah. So did you say you walked? Or
Yeah,
did you-
walked lots of times.
Wow.
I didn't have a car yet, so.
That's dedication.
My roommate did.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Join with a friend.
But I went sometimes when he didn't go. So.
Yeah. You have to walk down there. Oh my goodness.
And you know, my roommate was a green belt.
Yeah.
Eventually came to Athens. He was originally from Athens too, but he came back to Athens and joined my school after I had opened a school in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
He was still a green belt.
But he came back.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, those stories are
Didn't
great.
stay too long, but he just showed back.
Might as well try it again, right? And have you ever practiced any other styles of martial arts?
No.
No, just stuck with Isshinryu?
Well, you know, things here and there, little things.
Sure.
Learn the kata from here or there.
Yeah.
Pick
But
up
no,
from other
as far
people.
as studying, and I had one instructor.
Yeah.
That was Harold Long.
Okay. That's what my next question was about, was your Isshinryu lineage and how you trace back to Grandmaster Shimabuku.
I was with Harold Long, and Mr. Long was one of those very early guys, you know,
Yeah.
who came back. But at the same time, I was really lucky, and it was in 1966 in December when Master Shimabuku came to Knoxville. And so I got to spend time with him then, and still remember little things. If I'd known where I was going to be today, I would have, you couldn't really record them, but I would have made a lot of notes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what's going to be helpful. And then he's your sensei, so
He is my
that would be
sensei.
your lineage, would be
Yes.
Shimabuku Harold Long.
Yes.
Although she has trained much with Harold Long.
Trained a
Right.
lot, Mr. Long.
Okay.
And with Glenn Webb and Cass Cox, some of those other
Mm-hmm.
old guys that were Mr. Long before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy True.
Tommy True, yeah.
What years did you earn your black belts?
67.
67. How about you?
78.
1978. Wow. And what ranks are you now?
10th.
9th.
That just happened recently, didn't it?
It did, yes.
How do you feel?
Very happy.
Yeah,
Very.
for sure. So Grandmaster would be both of your titles now, correct?
We don't use a
Sure.
title like that. Sensei's fine.
Sensei's
Yeah.
perfect.
Mr. Burris for a lot of people. And Mr. Long was always Mr. Long to
Mm.
me. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not big on those kinds of things.
I'm not big on those titles either. I'm Carol.
But it is great. It's quite an accomplishment. It's so many years of dedication to reach that stage.
Yes.
That's impressive. So, when did you start to teach Isshinryu?
1967, right about the time, just barely after I got my black belt.
Within Harold Long School, or?
There was a fellow from Maryville, Tennessee, right close by, where the airport is.
Mm-hmm.
Came over to the school, and I was in there during that summer. And he said, "We've got some people over at Maryville that don't want to come to Knoxville. And you got any idea who might want to come over there and teach?" He said, "I do." And he's Mr. Burris. You'd be interested in teaching? Because I was down there all the time, so I helped teach and
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. And I said, "Sure." So one of those guys who was my very first student, Lewis Simmerly, he found the dojo in Maryville, and so I went over. I taught, started from, it was from 6 to 9, 4 nights a week, and then Saturday morning from 9 to 12. So.
And that's in addition to your day job as a teacher, or finishing
No,
up school.
I wasn't, I was still
Finishing up school.
in school working for Mayfield's then.
Okay.
But I did have another job, and I was also going to any day I could. I went to Mr. Long's. He opened-
Right, train yourself.
He was open from 12 noon till 9 at night every day.
Okay.
Plus Saturday morning.
Wow.
So I was still going over there all I could get there.
Yeah, because once you
Unless I
start
was at work.
teaching, it can be hard to train yourself, right?
Mm.
'Cause you're teaching all the time. Wow. And when did you start teaching?
What we did at the dojo, of course, Sensei would have us teaching others, the lower ranks.
Yeah.
But I actually started having my own classes
Mm.
after I got my black belt.
Okay.
And I started a program at Tennessee Wesleyan College. It's now Tennessee Wesleyan University. Started something there. Had classes at Cleveland State College.
Wow.
Taught classes, lady self-defense.
Mhm.
Had my children's program there at the dojo, and of course worked with the adults. Did just various programs throughout our community. Worked with our youth through the youth affairs department, the ones
Mhm.
that had some issues. Started a program for them. So I guess 78 is when it all started for me.
Yeah. That's great. What would you consider your teaching philosophy for karate? Either of you can answer first, or if you have the same one, that's fine.
Philosophy of how you teach them. Is that
Sure.
what you're talking about? The
Yeah.
way you go about teaching?
Mm-hmm.
We used in the dojo, and I always have, a situation like Master Isshinryu did, everybody teaching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when the Marines came back, they had more line up and stand at attention and workouts. But Mr. Long really never even did that unless the dojo got so full, it was really crowded, and all of a sudden he'd call everybody together for a class. Then we'd line up, but his dojo was everybody teaching everybody. And then I started and did that same thing. Later, of course, that evolved. Because I couldn't spend as much time teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So when you cut the time down, then you don't have time for everybody to help everybody. So we started doing more drills,
Mm-hmm.
things like that to get things done quicker. And it was effective both ways.
Well, I think during that time too, our children were little, and that's when I started the children's programs, and at that time, children's programs were not like we were doing them.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We identified quickly the importance of keeping the class short
Mm-hmm.
and on target with everything. I kept the children busy.
Yeah.
With from kata to kumite to whatever it was, we moved quickly so that we'd get the children in and out
Mm-hmm.
and get ready for the adult class
Mm-hmm.
that was to follow. I've always thought it important for everybody to enjoy what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we tried to work them hard so that the sweat was running, but they left with a smile on their face.
Right. Yeah. How many kids do you have? Your own kids, not all your hundreds of kids that might have gone through karate.
Well, our karate black belt family.
Yeah.
Our daughter Lindy is
Mhm.
a black belt, and our son Andy is a black belt.
Oh wow. And do they still practice?
They don't. No, they don't.
So, this is a tough question.
Okay.
I've been teasing her the whole time. What's it like being married and running a dojo together?
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah, it's just, we make a good team, and I get to be the boss when I'm in the dojo.
That's right. I mean, that's how it's always
That's the only
been.
place, but I get to be the boss there.
That is true.
But no,
That's when we're in karate, he's my sensei.
Mm-hmm.
We complement each other, I think, real well.
Yeah.
Let's hear
But she wants a compliment now.
Well, she's, I don't know if you can tell it yet or not, but I'm a little more laid back, a little slower with things, a little quieter with things, and she's a motivator and a go-getter, and so it's two really different approaches.
Mm.
But I think both of them have been real effective, and it's been real effective for us because, just because we're there together.
He's very diplomatic, as you can see.
Have there ever been times where, maybe not in the dojo, but afterwards there was something you disagreed on that you needed to discuss, or, discuss away from the students and then make a decision to move forward, or?
Ray, I never express how I feel. Does that answer that?
No, of course, we did a lot of discussion about how to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, just like I think it was Carol's idea that in the kids' class, and of course, as she said, our kids were there.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't like the idea of contracts and the whole commercial thing. So we went to a 3-month sign-up.
Mm-hmm.
People pay in advance for 3 months. Well, a lot of them can't pay in advance. So, okay, pay half of it this month, half of it next month. And then
Or don't pay and come on.
and then if they don't want to come back after 3 months, they don't. If
Sure.
they want to stop and play baseball, they do. And then, whatever they want to stop and do, they can do that.
Right.
Come back then whenever they want to.
Yeah.
Well, we were off during the summer in the beginning.
Yes.
And there was a demand for something in the summer,
Mm.
so we put in little camps.
Camps.
And Carol did, this kind of thing, but
Well,
that
she-
really, we kept people, for the first time, kids burn out.
Sure.
They don't stay long unless their daddies are there with them, and, they don't stay long generally. But once we started that, and then we had about a 2-week break in between, they wanted to come back. People stayed, went from the kids' class to the adults, and we found that's the way to do it. That's certainly the way for us to do it,
Mhm.
because it worked, and our kids didn't quit anymore.
You're going to see tomorrow for the ladies of Isshinryu, Stephanie Husky is one of the presenters.
Okay.
Stephanie started with me in the children's program.
Just a
Wow.
little girl.
Just a little girl.
Yeah.
And you're in for a treat tomorrow.
Okay.
Right, she is off the charts good.
Amazing.
She's somewhere around Chicago now, teaching in the university, and
Okay.
also still active.
Where she is, but it's really neat. It's
Yeah.
just neat. But I'll share with you one thing about the children's program that just brings a flood of memories. Those little babies in that class loved when we would have our obstacle course.
Mhm.
Oh, they loved it because I'd, build them up. Okay, we're gonna have attackers, and oh, by the way, I talked with the ninja from New York. He's coming. The children thought a real ninja from New York was coming. It's actually Patrick Lee, one of our black belts, that would jump off of a big rock.
He was
to
dressed
attack
like
them.
ninja,
It was
like they'd
cute.
expect a ninja to be dressed.
Sure.
And then the parents would volunteer to help, and we would have, I'd have a little station set up with a car and a door open, and the parent would get out and grab their wrist, and first the children were like this, and then they would start kicking the parents. just fun things. It just brings back memories.
Yeah, of course.
Although, yeah, I hadn't thought of that recently, but
Fun.
yeah, they really look forward to it. Then one we did was board breaking.
Oh,
Oh,
they
for the
love
kids.
board breaking with Master Burris.
Mhm.
I got, took those pine boards that might be 12 by 12 and cut them down to about 2.
Mhm.
So 12 by 2.
Oh.
And so those kids would come up, and
Scared
some
to
of them,
death.
were afraid to hit it. They quit
Yes.
right on the board, and well, that hurt. Then I tried to get them to do it with their left hand,
And they
because
break
all they
it.
had to do was go through it, and it would break.
Right.
They'd
They
break
don't
it.
quit.
Their little hands were about this big, and they'd break that board, and they're looking at their mom or dad. It
Oh,
was
they
just
take them
wonderful.
home with them. and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have
Anyway.
my board from when I did a different style before I came to Isshinryu.
Yeah.
I wrote on my name on it, the date of when I broke it, where I was.
It's neat when you have contact with people that you worked with 40 years ago. When
Yeah.
they reach out to you again and say thank you.
Mhm.
It's neat. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're
We're
doing
rambling.
great. My next question was, how many students, roughly, if you can't remember the exact number, have you promoted to black belt?
Oh, we were talking about that the other day. Can you remember?
Just last night that came up. I could go back and I've got records of the first ones, the first 50 or 60. I can
Mhm.
still call most of them my name probably. But somehow then you make some promotions and then you don't go write them down,
Sure.
and time goes by, and then I just absolutely lost track.
There's no way to know. Hundreds and hundreds.
There's
Yeah.
Hundreds.
just
It's yeah.
I believe
I
it.
think the one from me though that I remember so vividly, Nancy Webb. Remember her?
okay.
Nancy died from
Mm.
cancer, and she was my first Rokadon.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you'll remember those.
Yeah.
And their family remembers you and everything you were to them, for sure. So, you've both been inducted into the IHOF in 84 and 98, right? What did that mean to you?
Well, it was, at that time, I was too young for it, but, you know, there was just a select group there. There weren't many in it yet.
Mhm.
So, Master Luku, Harold Long, Harold Mitchell, you know, Don Nagel, and so I thought, you know, man, I'm here. Look at the guys I'm here with, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a real honor, but like I say, it was, I was pretty young in '84, considering this is.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't think too
But
hard
at that
about it.
time, I'd been at it a long time.
Right, yes, since 65, so it's all relative.
It's all
really,
relative,
you know. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Weren't many people around who've been there longer, so.
Yeah, 65, you're going right back, basically the beginning of it in America, in the United States, for sure.
Mhm.
And how about you in 1998? You and Master
Really?
Fierro were the
Mhm.
first women
Yeah.
inducted.
Were.
Yeah.
That was a very happy time for me.
Yeah.
It had been a long time coming
Mm-hmm.
because there were no females. And at one point, I remember thinking there would never be a female.
Mm.
And I was privy to know what we went through, what I went through as a female,
Mm-hmm.
and Marilyn also, for that to happen.
Sure.
It was a very happy time for me because I felt like finally, a barrier had started to kind of give way
Mm-hmm.
for females.
Sure. Well, my next two questions are for you, specifically about that. So, have you ever experienced discrimination in the martial arts because you're a woman?
You know, discrimination is I think it's a hard word,
Sure.
but there are a lot of times I can remember being treated differently because I was a female.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to even when I went on the board of the IIKA.
Mm-hmm.
It was different because I was the female breaking that barrier going on the board.
Just prior to her going on the board, I say just prior, maybe it was a year or two, I don't know, but we took a person on the board who did not meet our minimum rank requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that time, it might have been Godon or it might have been Rokodon, I'm not sure, probably Godon. He was Yodon.
Yodon.
And so what we did in order to keep from violating our constitution, the way we had that written up, or our bylaws, the suggestion was made, well, let's move him to fifth. And so we did. We moved him up to whatever the rank was.
Mm-hmm.
As he went on the board, he became that rank. Carol went on the board not very long after that, probably the next person to go on the board.
Mm-hmm.
What we did then, she didn't meet the rank. She was one under the rank requirement at that time. Well, we changed the rank requirement down one instead of moving her up a rank.
Right.
Now, maybe that's just a different way of thinking about it at the time, but probably if she hadn't been female, it'd have been, let's move him up.
Sure.
You know, just the same way we've done before.
Right.
If he qualified for the board, then I'll increase the rank. So, yeah, that was.
Did you know about that at the time?
I didn't know that was happening at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that there was discussion, you
Sure.
know, about you don't have the rank, and then was later informed as to what was happening.
Right.
I think the thing that stands out to me vividly, Ray, is when I went to Rokodon,
Mm-hmm.
and that time. Of course, Sensei and I have always, we've separated when we needed to in our karate training. When I went to Rokudan, first female to do that in the South, I had to go before the board and test. It's the first time that happened, and I was the female doing it.
But
He
now
took
that
me
that was about the time when we were due for that to happen. So I don't know whether it happened that time just because you're female. I mean, you know, that could be.
So, I want to clarify so I know I'm understanding everything. Before that, if someone was going to Rokudan, they might be promoted with approval of other people, but by their sensei, without going before the board? Or,
I think that's how it happened. Yeah.
yeah. And then, but when you were going to go up, you had to perform tests in front of the board?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
He took me to Nashville, Tennessee, and dropped me off.
Mm-hmm.
I went in the room.
Yeah, I didn't want to be with
I mean, he
her.
had nothing to do with
Right.
the yay or nay.
Well,
And it was 5 hours.
wow,
And
yeah, that's a long
it was
time.
intensive.
Yeah, for sure. But that way, by him not being there, no one could say there was any,
Exactly.
nepotism going on between the
Yes,
two of you.
exactly.
So that protected you in some ways for that.
And he's always been like that.
Sure,
Always.
sure.
I think.
He's probably your toughest critic.
Second that.
You might not have made it if you stayed. When you joined the IIKA board, when you were serving on it, did maybe after an initial uncomfortable period or anything like that, did you feel that what you had to do on the board or the tasks that you were assigned or anything like that were different because you were a woman?
I still serve on the board.
Okay.
And I've never held any animosity toward that.
Mm-hmm.
I've rather felt rather grateful that I had that experience, because I think that was a time for women to step forward and prove, however they needed to do, prove that I'm worthy of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then going on to the board, we do it as a family. Whatever is required, whatever is necessary to make the board, make the organization successful,
Sure.
we all just pitch in and do it.
Okay.
But I can add one thing to that.
Okay.
She did have good clerical skills, secretarial skills, and that kind of thing. So she became the secretary
Oh, I did?
right away.
I don't remember
And,
that.
and she was female, and that seemed like a natural thing. She ought to be the secretary,
I remember doing the newsletters. All of those.
Yeah, well, that was different though. But for a time, that didn't last a long time, I don't think. But I can remember then when I did not want you to be the secretary anymore. I didn't want you to be the secretary. But
I had forgotten
that was a long time.
that. That was, last year.
So you started the Women's of Isshinryu at the IHOF gathering. What do you think that you've inspired other young women? What does that feel like?
Ray, when I started the Ladies of Isshinryu, how many years ago? 25 years ago, maybe?
Early 90s.
The early 90s.
I did so hoping that that our presence together could form, of course, the bond with the women in Isshinryu, but also provide those participants the skills and not just the abilities, but the desire to take Isshinryu back to their
And the
communities. The confidence, yeah, that was the word I was trying to get to come out. Back to the communities, back to their dojos.
Mhm.
My whole thing has been to try to
just be an inspiration to let women know you can do this.
Mhm.
You can do this. And then bringing the Ladies of Isshinryu to the Hall of Fame was done so that we could bring in more women and hopefully build their confidence levels.
Mhm.
So I hear that we are doing that. I think numbers speak rather loudly,
Mhm.
and we have great attendance here at the Hall of Fame for the Ladies of Isshinryu.
Sure.
It actually started before the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, way before the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yes. In Tennessee, in our dojo. We started in our dojo, and we had ladies coming from Upper East Tennessee, West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and we would get together and train
Mhm.
all day long,
Mhm.
and then realize, wait a minute, this is too much. So we cut the time down.
Sure.
Continued training for years, and then that's when I brought
Okay.
it to the Isshinryu Hall of Fame.
Great. I'm glad to know that history. Organizations, there's a lot of different groups within Isshinryu. So we have the IHOF, which tries to bring everyone together. There's the IIKA, there's American Isshinryu, there's all sorts.
Yes.
Why do you think these organizations are important?
Are important?
Yeah, what's their purpose? What do you think they do?
Well, part of, if I can go first,
Sure,
Mhm.
go right ahead.
part of, well, go back to the IIKA when it was formed. There were some other organizations that we'd hear had formed, and then we wouldn't hear more about.
Mhm.
There's USKA, which is not Isshinryu, it's bigger than that we were members of at one time too. But in our Constitution, the original Constitution, the purpose of the IIKA was to bring all of Isshinryu together under one family. We had a board. I was at the very first meeting, and that was in 1974. We had Harold Mitchell was there, Harold Long there, Mr. Nagel and Mr. Armstrong were not there, but a seat was held for them. And Harry Ackman from Cleveland, Ohio was there. Anyway, so that was the goal, the goal. Well, much later, I'm not sure how much later, but a long time later, I realized that goal was never going to happen, because by then there started being other organizations.
Sure.
Even, and people, we had most people at one time as members of the IIK, but then they went off other ways. So we changed the Constitution, changed the wording, and we realized that that's not only is it not possible, we don't even need that to happen.
Mm.
That we can work better without that happening, and then hopefully work together.
Without
Well,
it falling under the IIKA.
Yeah, without it being under the IIKA. And, but the Hall of Fame then, eventually we realized had become that vehicle
Mhm.
to unite. And we think it's a better vehicle than
It's working.
in one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
working, right? That's Master Long's vision,
Right.
and I think that's why my sensei
Yeah,
has remained on the Hall of Fame board for as long, forever, since day one. It's because that was Master Long's vision. And he sees the importance of Isshinryu growing,
Mhm.
coming together as a family. And then that attitude has filtered down to me and to other people that are involved in hosting this event.
Sure.
The other board members I know feel like that.
Yeah. So, if you could tell people, whether they're in Isshinryu or not, one thing about Isshinryu and its history in America in general, what's one thing you'd want someone to walk away with?
It can become a lifetime learning experience that's going to bring lots of fulfillment.
How about
And
you?
And the harder you work at it and the longer you work at it, the more you learn and continue to learn, and the more you learn that there still is so much
There's
more to learn.
more.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that I work on today, think about and work on today are nothing like what I would have done 20 years ago,
Mm.
50 years ago. I mean,
Sure.
it's just so different. And Mr. Long said when I was first in the dojo, I remember him saying, Isshinryu is, or he said karate, then there weren't many karate styles around then. In the beginning, it's 90% physical and 10% mental, and eventually it becomes 90% mental and 10% physical.
Sure.
And that was a real good statement because it really drastically changes. Not that you stop the physical things, but
Right.
but you know, and it's more than just mental. It's it's a lot.
It goes out in all directions of life.
Yeah, of course. Have you heard of McDojos?
No.
The term? Have you heard that term?
Mixed.
A McDojo?
MC, like a
Oh.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
no.
so it's like McDonald's, right? They're the same everywhere. It's a franchise. You can, buy into it like a McDonald's. You could own a McDonald's and run it and make money. So that's a term used for some dojos and schools out there that maybe don't necessarily have a master in charge or a real system that they're working with.
So that's the commercial side.
The
of it.
commercial schools, yeah.
Yes, the commercial schools. No, we are not part. We never been part of that.
I didn't think you. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts about those organizations, as far as their impact on traditional styles like Isshinryu, or their impact on karate in the United States.
I don't know how they train in those schools. I would hope that they do the basic things that Isshinryu provides. So that can be my hope, is that they spread good Isshinryu.
Mm.
I can't really speak to.
Yeah, they usually label themselves as karate, but I don't know that necessarily. I don't know either. But what they do is karate per se. Sometimes it might look more like taekwondo or other things.
But if that's the case,
Yeah.
and they say Isshinryu karate, that changes it.
Right. Yeah.
So, I hope that's not happening. We need to find a McDojo, see what is going on, see what they're doing.
No, I think that experience. There's one really good group. Now, all of this depends on the instructor.
Instructor.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't tell somebody you need to find an Isshinryu dojo somewhere. In fact, I do tell people, you go visit schools and find the best instructor.
Mm.
Even if it's not an Isshinryu school, because I'm sure there's bad instructors in Isshinryu, and that'd be terrible. But that's now. Let me get back to what I started to say was, there's a group that in our area, a big group, been around a long time, and they were originally Taekwondo, but they just take in, if they see a weapon they like, hey, can I learn that weapon color from you? They don't know the stances, they don't, but generally they do that thing,
Mm-hmm.
and with their own way they do. If they see a kung fu kata they like, they'll try to learn that. They do
Mhm.
that and teach it, and so they just do lots of things like that. And I guess that might be some of what you're talking about, but
Sure.
But I always was so proud that we've got a system that's got it all. And we have the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we know the whole system, but I mean, we have the whole system we can study and continue to learn. It's just a lifetime learning experience. And I just think that those folks that, they're doing this punch in one kata and this punch in one kata and stances. I mean, there's no Mr. Long's basic items that Master Shunbuku taught
Mm-hmm.
are the most important thing, and see that these folks, they don't have that. They can't have that.
Right.
Well, I think if those respective dojos, if they go out and they do like what you're describing, they're not able to actually master any one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
No, it's like there was a Black Belt magazine article, not article, it was an advertisement,
Mm-hmm.
page advertisement, joining, and the guy for Shodan you did say Isshinryu, for Nidan you did, Taekwondo,
Mm.
for Sandan you did Judo, for
how can you ever
ridiculous.
learn it?
And then this group would grant you a 10th Dan in something or other when you actually had about a green belt in 10 things.
Sure.
It's ridiculous. But there is mastery, but it can't be of everything.
Right.
No.
Right.
And another good example of that, one of my old black belts, Bruce Gillett, from Maryville, who was a part of the Hall of Fame at one time.
And that's the dojo that he
That's
started.
my original
Mhm.
dojo.
Okay.
Yeah. Bruce works for Maryville College, and he has an on-campus business called Mountain Challenge. And they go bicycle riding, they climb mountains. He goes to South America and out west, and he does corporate things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he was telling me one time that, here come these people, we're going to go and climb a mountain. And they bring picks and shovels and backpack and all these heavy coats and all these things, big old boots. And he's got, just shorts and a knapsack. And he says, eventually you discard what you don't need. You only keep what you need.
Right.
And I see that in so many people that are trying to, I want to go learn this, and I want to learn this, and I want to learn this other. What are you going to do with all that? You can't master it. You can't, there's no way.
Right.
You need to find something that you can do and master, and then it can be meaningful to you. Sorry to get off.
Oh no, this is exactly what I wanted. I love it. It's great. What do you see as the future of karate and Isshinryu in the United States? Where do you see it going?
I hope to see that Isshinryu continues to grow.
Mm.
And of course, we're seeing it grow more now, I think. This event this weekend, the Hall of Fame, has become a vessel to promote more growth for Isshinryu. That's my hope.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, looking at the future, I'm not sure Isshinryu will always be around. There are always going to be some dedicated people who really get involved and begin to understand. But I'm not sure that that it's going to be just really so widespread. In our area, it's always been pretty much local, small dojos,
Mm-hmm.
not many commercial dojos. There are some, but not many. And I've always told my students, don't go commercial, just get you a job and then do this on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to worry about the overhead and selling
Do
contracts.
it for the
and all
right
that kind of
reasons.
stuff. And then you can teach what you want to teach, yeah. But with everything that's going on with, with folks having access to everything and being curious and getting off into other things, and learning all you can learn is fine with me. I don't have a problem with that, as long as Isshinryu stays, what Isshinryu is. But I'm afraid in the future it may become small dojos
Sure.
and not maybe as big as it is now.
Well, we've Some people have lost their schools, during the
Yes.
pandemic and things like that. We've seen that. All right, this one's a fun one. You ready?
Okay.
Outside of karate, what do you like to do?
Oh my goodness. Of course.
Well, I'm a golfer.
Okay.
So I play a lot of golf.
I'm a Grammy. I spend time with my grandchildren. That's my life right there.
Spend a lot of time with the grandkids. Help
My children.
coach baseball.
Nice.
Mhm.
Any of the grandkids do karate? Are they old enough yet? Not yet.
Not yet. No,
Okay.
they aren't training yet.
No.
Our granddaughter's quite the little dancer. She is.
Okay.
Miss Ballerina.
Nice.
And then our grandsons are into baseball. Big
Okay.
time.
Baseball and basketball.
Yeah, because Papa was coach. We like that, and we like to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this: he's quite the bartender. He is very good at fixing martinis.
Nice.
So we enjoy sitting on our back porch.
Yeah. I bet. Well, that's it, unless there was anything else you wanted to add.
They need them at the front desk up there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
you are welcome.
Did you get what you needed?
I did.
The first